should have all the data they need to make this right for these 20 laps to date. That's a big deal for them. They've ploughed so much money, so much effort into this team, and the bike mile up to 212, 215 mile an hour with a bit of a slipstream. Neil, it's a lot closer than we thought.
Absolutely, we were talking literally on free practice one. His Marquez is going to be a second faster than he knows. He's got his number one strategy is to check out on the first lap. So
remembered for as much of the type of man he was off the track as the man we knew. Circuit of the Americas, just outside Austin in Texas. It's a fantastic,
especially with the first gear hairpin as the first corner.
Turn one, really tricky, particularly first. Oh, good start from all of them, but Cal Crutchlow got an absolute stonker, and that was without a rolling stop. There is massive on a Motogp bike as you go through turn 2 onto turn 3, then it's turn 4, 5 to the front though, already blasting away. Mark Marquez under pressure from a revitalised Valentino Rossi.
That's the best bike all weekend, hasn't it? The Suzuki over the bumps, but I just think it's Rins is very, very. We are racing for second, which is it's hard to believe that they would say that, but. That's what I'm being told.
Rossi is always of Jack Miller. Jack Miller, these two mates, Crutchlow and Miller, very close friends. Miller's looked live.
There is Dobby. He's already up to 7th place.
Good start.
Sixth place already.
Good. We know the thing grunts up the hill, so it's maybe just managed to pull him. But you know how clever he is. He puts himself.
Done any laps in these conditions. No one's put any more than 10 laps on a tyre, and that was free practice.
Collection team and broke it off, and Davide Tolozzi lost his rag completely over that. Right in the mix as well. I'm going to blow me brains with this one. Down at turn 11 we go. Onto the back straight. Point warrior, Cal Crutchlow. He should not even be able to walk, let alone ride as well as he does. Brilliant. Come on. Paul Espargaro in 9th place. He's got Petrucci behind him, and Quattararo's in there as Bagnaya's there as well. Bagnaya's and Aleix Espargaro drops out of the race. Bit of a disaster. He's looked good this weekend as well. Yeah. So Marquez eases away. It was 0.6. It is 0.6, sorry, now. It was less than a second outside his best race pace of 2014, when the track was in much better order than it is now, and that's where state and shape this bike and this bloke is in around here. So dominant.
It's on the ones that, like, usually the anti-clockwise tracks, he loves left-handers.
This corner here is real, it snaps from side to side. Look at Cal Crutchlow, all over Valentino Rossi. Lots of banter down in pit lane.
Yeah, good fun on Thursday. So, Lorenzo qualified 11th finish since Austria last year. Can you believe that? I mean, yes, he's had a string.
2:04.3 it is now. So, Marquez is just relentless at the front of this. Dobby in 6th still, Vinales 7th. As we look down the order, and then we've got to put it with that.
Oh, look, jump start. Right through penalty. Juan Mir and Maverick Vinales
to make that start, to get it dead right. Vinales is nervous, we know what he's...
Is it somebody different analysing these starts? Because that's too much of a coincidence for me.
That's a ride-through penalty. If you've stopped by the time the lights go out, there is discretion to negate your penalty. But the fact is that, hard and fast, if you're rolling, when the lights go out, you go up.
That one. Our director... Well, we should get the pictures, because we were told off Dorna that we won't get to Cal Crutchlow's.
What worried me was Cal got such a launch off the line. When I saw that come up, then I held my breath for a moment. In 5th place. Then it's Dobby in 6th place. Morbidelli 7th. Vinales.
It's just all going wrong.
Cal was wide there at turn 11.
It was very wide.
Very, very wide. Came in there with a hop, skip and a jump and closed right into the rear end of Valentino Rossi. And that was the question I asked earlier. Look at this. It's the problem maybe that the Yamaha...
You know, normally... The track temperature's going up literally as we speak.
Penalty warning. Made that mistake. Here comes Cal. Does he go to the inside? I thought he was going to make that move then. Cal's all over the back of Rossi at the moment. Rossi
is coming through. We talked about Dovy's great start. He was up into 6th place on the first lap. He's dropped down to...
Let's have a look at it.
Here
it is. Watch for him. If he's rolling when the lights go out, he's going to go drive for Dorna. That's the... down! Has gone Cal Crutchlow. Crutchlow has crashed out. Set yourself up so well for the back straight. Get it all dead right. Cal Crutchlow. Let's have a look what the mistake... Didn't want to run out wide, so he hadn't got it turned and squirted on. He didn't want to lose contact with Valentino Rossi away. So, Cal Crutchlow, disaster for him. Lets Rossi off, though. He's in. He had to, wouldn't it? 3 laps you've got to be in by, otherwise you cop a black flag. Penalty loop.
So he's done the penalty loop by mistake.
Yeah, and he's got to do a ride through. That's the penalty loop at 13 and 14. Wait for it. Here it goes. He's rolling. Oh, yeah, by a long way.
Yeah, by a long way.
Proper jump start there.
I will not make that mistake again.
Do you know what was funny there? Wayne Rainey and Kenny Roberts, of course, they were used to having the third
bike on the bike point. He's not trying to second guess the lines. He goes when they go out, but that's, if you think about it,
no,
I'm convinced,
they should be across that.
I am convinced if we could look at data from last year, they'd be numerous.
Not now, do they? I mean, having done Cal Crutchlow in Argentina, they physically cannot let anybody go. Not 30 seconds you lose here with the length of pit lane.
Yeah.
I think Cal lost 27, I think, and that's quite a long pit lane. Dino Rossi in second place, who has got a 0.4 of a second lead over Jack Miller. Question is, who
through the weekend for? The man who I'm worried for is in third place, Jack Miller. The fact that he's on the soft front and
mate at turn 11. Watching the race from there. On board, Marc Marquez.
Place, we've got Frankie Morbidelli, who I spoke to on the grid. He's come from 10th. Remember, on the Honda.
And Quartararo for that team. I think that team are doing it. They hired the really fresh out the box, all new bits, all new workshops, all new everything, and they've gelled straight away from the... No disrespect there.
No disrespect at all. You just wouldn't expect. It's a brand new team.
Not getting through FP1 and 2 when they knew the rain was coming for FP3, so they left themselves... Natty boys dropped the ball, and with the amount of intelligence there is in that camp.
Yeah, I think though, that it came down to this. It just squidges. It's like this...
He did exactly what Cal didn't.
Yeah.
He picked it up. Marquez has done what we predicted he could do.
He's down again.
Marquez has gone from one side of the bike to the other. It's turn 12. It's been the nemesis of everyone here at some stage in their career. Oh, and they still cannot start that. And he's down for a third time.
Well,
it's best qualifying in the USA since Laguna 2009, and now Valentino American Grand Prix. Look at that, 46, 93's out. That's on his team community.
First crash he's had since Qatar. We normally see him crash in practice. He's had Deckard, who's always got late race pace. Incredible, he came from 16th to 5th at the last round in Argentina.
Valentino Rossi leads. The legend that is Marc Marquez has just been extinguished around. Excited just yet, I think, is the thing we're looking at here.
This place will...
Marc Marquez drops to third place. Rins is right there as well. What a championship. Works on his race pace. Valentino Rossi has normally got a motorbike that's good at the end of the race. And Kel Carruthers then 250cc world champion before the rest of the crew that have been working on it when they were putting all the garage together. So they already have one injury this week back off. Tested just yet. Jack Miller, I think, is finding that tyre choice perhaps just a little bit tricky for the length on the KTM, and Benaya recovering from what's been an awful free practice and a lack of track time, remember.
Strange crash.
It was a strange crash.
Very early.
But that's the nature of the surface of this track, isn't it?
We'll do lots of laps this year. He'd gone with a medium front. Normally they'd go for a harder compact.
Here in the Circuit of the Americas, 2008 Indy was Lorenzo.
The man who never crashes, saw all three factory Hondas down. Yes, he's crashed.
Well, that's the second time. Remember, the chain jumped off in qualifying of his number one bike. He had to park it at the end of pit lane, lower leg department. Still Valentino Rossi leads, but that Suzuki is keeping pace. To do something just a little bit special. The 23-year-old from Barcelona, 33 Motogp. Here's Dovi, got Morbidelli all over him.
Yeah, Dovi's got past him on this lap.
And not much faster than him.
Exactly.
He might be able to raise his game on that M1.
Well, and also it's a day.
Suzuki, Davide Brivio and the rest will be absolutely... He's going for it. He's definitely going for it. Through that flip-flop. I mean, there's no way you're this close and you're a motorbike racer.
And they're both on the same tyre, so it's not going to come down to someone...
You remember a few years ago, tyres that are the spec tyres for MotoGP. Valentino Rossi versus Alex.
It's a question,
but he couldn't do anything else, Marc Marquez. He can't do anything
else.
No, I know.
Here we go, we're going to see the crash.
So then, did it... Yeah, he was out too wide, wasn't he? He was heading for too wide. And again, even with the weight up front, he couldn't do anything with it. So heartbreak for Marc Marquez fans.
It's incredibly bumpy, but the actual surface, the grip level is so low around here. I'll tell you how low...
The guy who crashed first, he said he's a very good rider.
Yeah.
You know, he's no mug.
And the other rider who crashed was...
because he wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, so... And
there's Maverick making his way, Beryl Abraham. Next up is Tito Rabat on the 53 machine. Trouble is on that snake, you just can't find the... and ticking by. He'll go past on the brakes as we come over 9 through 10 and down towards 11 into the break.
Went through, and Carol Abraham thought, yeah, well, I'm going to come through with you as well, and he's taken Tito.
Don't see much of Carol Abraham.
Mile behind the number 1 KTM of Paul Espargaro.
Yeah.
He expected more. The words were, we thought he'd get up to speed quicker than he has done.
That's just, in my view, that's just wrong. Performing so much better, that's when your argument falls apart.
The only argument to back that up is you'd say it's either good or bad. That's either we're going to reduce some power,
or we're going to really wind him right up. It's got to be
or a little bit more. You'd assume a little bit less. That's normally you start with as much power.
They were a bit lively over the hill and hitting a rev limiter, and that can create, exploding motors. I was looking through the
starting from the back of the grid later on in the season.
If that's the case,
if you use an extra engine, you'll be getting a penalty.
20 on this massive circuit of the Americas track. Rossi leads, comes to the line. It will be. I think. Would you say that as well?
Yeah, I would do, because in this situation,
I think he's not a lunger.
5 seconds in front of Andrea Dovizioso.
Well, he's been the best Ducati all weekend, bar none, hasn't he?
If he wins there, he'll know there's a big gap to third place. If you Rins now, you'd have to just stay waiting for a block pass on the last lap.
I think Rins is clever enough
to do that.
To think that one through. 4.5 laps to go then. Absolutely fantastic, enthralling as well, and he's going to unload that Yamaha on the last couple of laps. David A. Brivio looking extremely tense.
And that was 2016, was it? It was.
4 laps to go.
They had more engines, they could test more. This year they've lost all their concessions. It's a level play. It's not got the biggest budget. Look at the side of the bike, it says Suzuki. They don't have the massive sponsors.
Here we go! He's under come back. Valentino Rossi goes second place then. Rins out front. There is a whole host of legends that are going to be on the poster. Will be up there. But where will Rins be up there? Will it be top step? Will it be step 2? Will it be the room?
Yeah, he just checked up. He could feel him coming up the inside.
And let him go.
Yeah, give him the room. And now if you read,
it is looking absolutely superb for Alex Rins. Rins then on his way. Still a long straight away here. Rossi went to the inside, but it looked too hot. Rins saw him coming. Makes the cutback. Rossi has to work at top of the hill. Bottom gear, dropping down through the order. This is a third place man. Jack Miller still there, looking comfortable in 10th place, a slip behind Taka Nakagami now. Rins, can he do it?
Squared off by Maverick Vinales, his nemesis, who took all the glory. And from that moment, grafter. And if you want to win at this level, you've got to work.
He hit the apex at Nakagami, the 30 who's just gone past. That seems to me to be putting Yannone in a bit of a tiz because he's beginning.
Never, I thought he was just going to sit back. But with his body language, you can see Valentino climbing all over the motorcycle.
So Rins on that Suzuki. That's Miller going through the same corner, even if he doesn't make the pass on Miller. So Dobby, how typical of the professor. The main man Marquez.
He's 2 seconds behind him now. 2 laps to go, and he's running a second a lap quicker. Can you believe they're gone? But he'll be breathing now. This is a physical track. I'm not saying he's not fit, but there's a lot going on.
I wonder what difference that's made to the gap between the 2 front runners.
Yeah, he's got up point
gearboxes on all of them. So they go down with such smoothness, such linear change.
The biggest, best, most amazing moment of his life. And basically, he's got to the next lap.
Suzuki are absolutely tight in the garage. Rins.
Yep.
Now it's dropping down through turn 2 where the big bump is. Rins is on his way. This is your third place man. Jack
is the perfect. Let the brake off up the inside. Rossi's catching.
We'll see. From now on. So the man who cut his fingers, I don't think he's close enough to be able to do this, you know. It looks to me like Rins is 200 mile an hour, 210 mile an hour now. The Suzuki has got it sorted down towards turn 12.
On to mark my words, Rossi is going to make a lunge.
Brivio knows it. Brivio 17, 18, which is now Hayden Hill. Nicky Hayden above us will be looking down on this race. Out of the last corner, to the line. Valentino Rossi will be second, but it's Alex Rins that wins.